You have to judge others favorably. Afilu Rasha Gomor. You have to find in the Rasha a positive point. Ayin Sham. Someone that could do this. Limsa Nekuda Tova. Afilu Hoshe Yisrael. Even in big sinners, you could find good points. Hu Yachol Liot Chazan. He could become a Chazan, right? The Rebbe over there explains. Ulitzpalel Lifnei Amud. And he can be like the Chazan, right? The Baal Tefillah, Ayin Sham. So you should know. So the Rebbe said over there. By the way, just to stop on this point, this friend of mine was asking me on the phone. So he was saying that everyone has to be gavaldik in your eyes. The Torah of Azamra means that everyone's like a ZCE. Everyone's gavaldik. So 1 second. The Rebbe didn't say be naive. He didn't say you all think everyone's great. When you go outside, you'll get swindled. You know what I mean? Guy wants to sell you a watch. But yeah, it's a brand new Rolex. You don't trust me? What do you mean? Wow, you're gavaldik. Of course, he's telling the truth. Let me buy the Rolex. You pay $3,000, and you realize, hey, it's like made in China for $20. But everyone's gavaldik. How does this fit in? I want to take the Rebbe's Torah and survive. I'm like, what? I'm not a Kli Shalom now. I'm trying to process the Rebbe's Torahs. So the Rebbe never said what this guy said. The Rebbe said, Afilu Rasha Gomur. You know the guy's a Rasha. He's a schwitzing, raging bull for sins. You know that. You recognize that. The guy's Al Capone. He's Al Capone. He's a murderer. I know. He's a bad guy. He's a rotten guy. But he has certain points about him. That when the Sefer Torah passes by, he stands up and he kisses it. It's interesting. For Al Capone, wow. For him to do such a thing, it's taka big. You focus on it. You're not naive, even about yourself. Also, you can't think.
Also, if you look, before he didn't get into it over here, and you I don't know if you glossed over it or just wasn't you focused over here, but he says over there that he says what's the possible quotes over here? Right? Right?
Yeah, I don't know why Rebbe Nachman didn't say that word, but yeah.
Right? That's his film. So I think that his Mekoimoi, he's not there. Before he was Al Capone, he was the lowest Rosh in the world. You found one thing, he's still down there, but he's not on that same level as was before.
Mm-hmm.
So in his position, he was in place number negative 4 million. Now he's in negative 3,999,000. So you're not telling him he's a Tzaddik Gomer. And if you notice in Mishnah Beis, you move that step by step, rung by rung.
I hear what you're saying.
Also, you don't think he's a tzaddik gomer, obviously, but he's no longer on a level. Once he finds something in him, you know, at the level that you thought he was. But and he still needs work, but step by step.
Right, but also let's be medayik. But in the next piece, the Rebbe said, "Afilu Rasha Gomer." Right? Yeah, he's a Rasha. You're not talking. You see, let's just.
He's no Rasha Gomer.
No, but what's going to happen? That's the second stage. That's what.
Before you thought about something about him. Yeah. He's no longer on that level he was before that.
Right. But I want you to try to want you to hear what I'm saying for this Nakuda. That you're right. That's the totzah of that. There's something that happens after that. Let's not necessarily jump in that gear yet. Let's jump in the first gear. The first gear is that you're not being naive. What we're understanding is that you know that this guy's a Russian. But you're finding Nakudas.
Not to the extent that you thought he was.
You're finding Nakudas Tovas in him. By you doing that, finding those positive points, it's taka taking him to another level, and now he's not mamish holding there where he was because of what you did. You're right. But in the first shlav where you were like, this guy is a Rasha, but he has this about him. What's going to happen from that in a chanami? He's going to move a little bit wherever he's going to move. Maybe I don't know. He's going to move, right? However that's going to play out, how that's going to reverberate like sound waves, music, it gets bigger, like whatever, it gets smaller, I don't know. However that's going to play. He's definitely going to change.
He's already changed.
He's right, by that, meaning like cause and effect. Cause of this is where we're holding, the guy's a Russia, but he's got that.
Before he was 100% Russian, now he's 99% Russian.
Because of that. That's an outcome of what you did. Yeah.
The next thing you find now is 98%.
Right. But you're not coming from the beginning and like.
No,
and just like that. Yeah. I just see
he's great. No.
You can't do that.
That's wrong.
You can burn yourself like that. You could burn even yourself like
Right,
that.
it's-
We were saying before you came that if a guy comes and he takes this Torah, he could be metame himself through the Torah. He could be like, Rebbe Nachman saying, I'm a Gavaldi guy. I'm a Gavaldi guy. I'm a Gavaldi guy. Until, like, what? And then he falls. He's like, I can't believe I did what I did. He used this Torah, and he had a big Yerida. So that's a big Nakuda there. That step one, step two, let's separate. There's a process. Step one, get the step one in stage into here. This is step one. Okay, there's a Totzah that comes from that. That makes all the difference. Right? Yeah, we're okay? Okay. All right. Let's just finish off. So he says over here, he says over here that the Rebbe really continues in that Torah. It says, Veda shekol echad mitzadike hador bone mishkan. You should know that the tzadikim, they make like these tremendous like tapestries of like heichalot, of chambers of the king's palace through this positivity. This is the structure of the Mishkan, so to speak. Shemisham Mekablin, we're not going to fully understand. It's a little bit above us right now, this week. We're going to hopefully get to it. Shemisham Mekablin Tinokos Shel Beis Rabban, that this is where the children, right, of Beis Rabban, they get their breath, right, of learning Torah, right? Hevel Piem She'en Bo Chet. Bishvil Zehim Matchilim Min Vayikra. That's why the children start learning Chumash from Vayikra. Because Vayikra has to do with Korbanos, has to do with the Mishkan. V'zeh HaTzadik, and this Tzadik Sheyochol L'Lakit, that he can gather all these positive points that's found within everyone, meaning, like, just to pause for a second, meaning that there's a generator, right? There's like a computer that's sort of gathering these positive points and making a beautiful structure out of it and presenting it in front of Hashem, right? There is a tzaddik, right? And that's what the job of the tzaddik does. That's what he does. That's what he's there to do. He is there, his job, that he's like, everyone gets up, they have to punch in somewhere, they're doing something. This is his job, that he's going to take Nekudas Toas from all of us, all this beautiful music that everyone makes in his life with his own little positive violin, and he takes all these notes, they're flying to him, and he makes this beautiful structure, and he's like, here you go, Hashem. Look at this beauty. Look at Am Yisrael. Right? Rabbi Nachman said that he only knows how to do that because of his shiftless atzman, because he knows of his own lowliness, so to speak. Right? That's the Hagufa, that's the whole Torah of Azamra. Remember, if the coin's black, you see all the white dots. So it's that tremendous humility that you could bring for Am Yisrael. You could bring all the positive points in such an amazing way. We'll elaborate on that further, Bezrat Hashem another. So he says, Hu yodea kol habechinot sheyesh be'inyan zeh shel hamishkanot. He knows this chachma that's involved with the mishkanot, shebonin hatzadikim, that the tzadikim make, shemisham mekablen hatzinokas hevel piem shein bochet v'chulu v'chulu ayin sham kol zeh heitzev heitzev. Look over there in the Torah of Azamra and how it ends off of there in such an amazing, like majestical, messianic way, if you don't mind me saying. It's like unbelievable. Like mamish, you start to feel like Mashiach's already like starting to play music. It's like unbelievable when you finish the Torah. If you gotta sort of take it slow towards the end. You gotta drive slow, and then you see mamish beautiful things. Okay, bet. Let's tie it in halacha. This is waking up in the morning. This is the aspect of waking up. Why? When a person sees that himself, that he's very far from Hashem, that's what sleep means. What does sleep mean? You're in darkness. You weren't conscious. You fell, right? You're mamish somewhere that you didn't know where you were. It's 1/60th of death. We said that that depression is very connected to death. Right, the Zohar says this, that when the Nachash brought the poison that the Nachash brought to mankind was depression, right? That's why death came along with it, because it's mamish together. It's like in Kabbalah, it's like the same thing, like death and depression. It's like, that's why, by the way, you psychologically, even like a person that's really like Hashem clinically depressed, he's mamish like depressed. He's like he doesn't really feel like moving so much. Like chronic depression, like a person just wants to stay in bed. Like he doesn't want to move. He wants to stay in his bed.
Heavy feet, Nachman says, right?
It's
also
interesting.
the blood and the way it flows. Rebbe Nachman has a nice Torah on that too, with the heavy feet.
I hear. Maybe you'll tell me more about that soon. But yeah, the person from Mamish feels like he's very connected. Mita is very soothing for such a person. It's like I just want to die. Like I was somewhere that I saw in Eretz Yisrael. The guy Mamish, obviously he was a depressed guy, but we were with a few friends of mine. Mamish beautiful shining souls. And then there was like this guy that he threw a fit, whatever, he started and he was like, that's it, like I'm gonna die. And he falls in the street, and he was like, and we were like, he's sick. And so one of the people there was a nurse, and she was like, off duty, whatever, she was like, but she's like, well, let me help, like I'm a nurse, like I could help. And then she was like trying to help, and we called the police, we called the ambulance, and then, but like, one of the things that he said to this woman was like, just leave me alone because I just want to die. I was like so like, it was like a bullet, like wow, this guy he wants me to. He's like, save me from this life. Like I don't want it. I want to die. You know what I mean? Like the depression and death. It could come together like in such a infusion that it engulfs. It's mamish the same roots, right? So we have to wake up from that. We want to wake up. What does it mean waking up in the morning? What does that mean? The Shulchan Aruch starts about waking up in the morning. We want to wake up from this sadness, from this depression. How? We're broken souls. How do we do this? We want the tools, not only to help ourselves, but to help others. Kishemechapes, when you start to search, you have to search, you have to start looking. Umavakish umotzi ba'atzmo eze nekuda tova adayin. You have to find something that you still have good about yourself. I was mamish with a woman. She had the sickness, the machla, and like at the table, it came to a point that, I was just like, what's going on? And this person had Lo Aleinu, a relative that passed away in her life, and all of a sudden it came out, and she was like, you know why this person died? Lo Aleinu, we should know from such a hard thing. This person died because me, I didn't keep Shabbos properly, and then all of a sudden all the bitterness, all the black was starting to come out. Like I didn't do this right, I didn't do that right. Hashem's upset at me, he's angry at me, he deserves to punish me. It was mamish the sickness. She took her illness and she put it out on the table. She's like, what do you think about that? And I was like, whoa. And I stopped. I was like facing this real darkness, and it was very intense. And I just took the Rebbe around me. I was like, okay, we're gonna get through this. And I was like, 1 second. I was like, you know what you gotta do? You know what your problem is? And Mama's like, I had to get in there, with a blowtorch. I was like, you know what? I want you to do one thing every day. She's like, what? He's like wiping the tears. What? And I was like, I want you every day sit 5 minutes on your own and to thank Hashem, to find something in your life that you did good about yourself, that how you're so good in this area, and be like, Hashem, I'm so good in this area. And she's like, what? It's like, find good about myself and to tell Hashem like I got this good about me? And I said, yeah. She's like, but that's ego. I said, that's ego? What you dropped on the table the past half hour, that was ego. What? Well, yeah, because you're saying, look what I did in my life, look what darkness came in my life. This person died because of me. Everything is me. That's ego. Find one thing you did good about yourself. She's like, really? I'm supposed to do that? I'm like, yeah, you're supposed to do that. And she did, and I'm telling you, Mamish came over about a month or two later. I was living in Sfas at the time. I came over 2 months later. She opened the door, Mamish welcomed me like royalty. She was smiling. She's like, at the door, she couldn't hold back from saying, she's like, you should know, my life has changed.
The person lives in Sfat?
No, I was living in Sfat.
Oh, yeah.
My life has changed completely. I'm like a diva. She was smiling, she was and I was it came that time, Shabbos late, Friday night, and I was people had gone to sleep, and I was like, so let's go. You ready? We're ready. She's like, There's nothing anymore. There's no. I'm like, throw out the darkness. Let's go. I was like, no, it's not. After you told me that, honestly, I'm just thanking Hashem. Like I do. I said, okay, so how long do you do? And we got into the, put more, and this, that, and like, celebrate it, and really like dance, like try to dance, like if no one's home, like try to, like build it. You know what I mean? Like really dance, like yeah, dance. Why not? Throw some things, throw like a CD in. Okay, like mamish become experts in this way of life, of chiyus, of David HaMelech. Azamra l'Elokei b'Odi. We want to connect to Mashiach. What do we want to do? Let's talk about Mashiach. Who's Mashiach? Who's not Mashiach? Is he still Mashiach? Who cares? I want to tap into his Torah. Do you want a Torah or a bracha? Right? I want the Torah. What's the Torah? This is the Torah. This is the Torah of Mashiach, so to speak. Right? Because you want to tap into that Azamra David HaMelech's teaching you. Be a musician. I'm a musician. You want to be a musician? Be this expert. Find the good, celebrate it. The Arabs, Yimach Shemam v'Zichram, are celebrating darkness. They're into it. Like, let's celebrate bad, like rage. Let's celebrate. I was crazy. At certain points in my life, I was like, let me go and like interview Arabs. Like, let me see where they're coming from. I was nuts. It was like at certain times it was like in the back of stores, talking to Arabs, and I'm like, it's just us. All of a sudden, starts getting angry. I was like, I gotta get out of here. Like, I was nuts, But one thing that I saw is that part of their religion is anger and celebrating dark, celebrating Yeush. You think it sounds crazy, but you'll see mamish, like imams sit there in mosques, and they start like glorifying how bad, what tragedy. Like tragedy involved. Like they start hitting themselves, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's crazy!" And they start hitting themselves, like a crowd of people. There's clips of this. You can see it. It's mamish nuts. It's the other side. So we have to make sure we want to be victorious over the Arabs. We got to be victorious over that mentality. You can't celebrate chas v'shalom your bad points. You can't. You have to move on. You have to just try. It's not. You have to change you flip the coin. Remember again, another yesod. Remember, this is the story. Somebody came to Rebbe Nachman, and he said that Rebbe, I say it's almost every week. I'm like a Imam Shel Russia. I'm like such a messed up guy. Like this, that. He starts like pointing at his like negativity, and like when he's done, he like looks up at the Rebbe and says, Rebbe, like what do you got to say? So then the Rebbe's like, I think there's nothing to talk about. You're pushing a mess. Like what? He couldn't believe it. He's like Rabbeinu. Like he's like this guy is like he's like the tzaddik is gathering all the positive nakudas. Like he's telling me I'm a god. He's like, and then the Rebbe goes on. He pauses and he's like, I don't think there's what to talk about. Like you're finished. Like you're just. And the guy's like, what? And he's like, wait. He's like, but I still put on tefillin. Like didn't I put on tefillin today? Didn't I do that? And the Rebbe's like, that's true. You did put on tefillin. And he's like, I said Tehillim. Like and he's like, oh yeah, you did say Tehillim. You got a point there. Reb Nosson was like, he was so amazed. I was like, what did he saw the Rebbe literally take that guy up like a coin. The guy came up with white. He was like a white coin. It's like, I'm supposed to be the Rosh Yeshiva. Midas Tovas. Like, look, I have all these bad things. I'm so messed up. Like, and the Rebbe just flipped the coin. He much flipped his soul. The guy landed up on the black side. And the Rebbe's like, yeah, you're talking a mess. You're not the Rosh Yeshiva. You're a rotten guy. You're a piece of mud. The guy's like, yeah, but like this, but I got this about me, but I did this, didn't I? That's a white dot. It's a nice white dot. It's beautiful, sparkling. That's good. Let's recognize that. There's another white dot. Wow, we have to stop ourselves from thinking we're supposed to be such great people. We're supposed to be nothing. I'm mamish, like I'm thankful to Hashem for like everything I have in my life because I'm supposed to be a behemoth. I was like, when I had this back thing, I was like, I looked at my way. I was like, I think I was supposed to die. Like I think I was supposed to die. I told her, I was like, this is a ches from Hashem. Like, let's knock him out. We'll make him like not walk and stuff like that. So it'll be like a bechina of like sort of mita, like keep him in the bed, mita, She was like, okay, like whatever you say, but like, like it's a little intense, but we got to go somewhere. So like, let's just get dressed and go. Like it was like, like it's like, but bottom line is like, yeah, like we don't know the chesadim that Hakadosh Baruch Hu is doing in our lives. It's unbelievable. We don't see it. Why? Because we blow ourselves up to be these big Rosh Yeshivas, these big balloons. Like I should. It's America. It does that to you. It's your right. It's your right, for crying out loud. It's in the Constitution. Speak up, sir. Like say to the person it's wrong. Sue. Everyone's suing. Why? Because me. How could you do such a thing? I slipped in front of on the sidewalk in the street. It's your fault. You're supposed to Everything's the other person's fault because it's not my fault. I was telling guys in Ezra Academy, you buy new sneakers, you're on the bus. A guy by accidentally steps on your sneaker. Who feels like they want to shoot that guy right now? Guys raise their hands. I want to, they admitted it. Look at it. Look where we're holding. America's treating it to be the slightest infraction on your will whatsoever. You want to tear that down. You can't, because you have to be the all dominant person. That's the biggest chalishas that we have these days. That's the biggest weakness, and it kills us because everything tastes rotten after that. If I look at myself, I'm supposed to be this big Rosh Yeshiva. Then when I get a meal, I'm like, listen, is this meal fit for Rosh Yeshiva? You know what I'm saying? It's nice, but not for the Rosh Yeshiva. If I think that I'm a piece of garbage, and then I get a piece of chicken with some peas, I'm like, wow, I'm a beggar. I'm like, thank you for this peas. You're the best. You just hooked me up. And whoever made it, you're momish. I don't deserve you. And if the person curses me out, I'm like, wow, I deserved so much worse. You're so right. There's nothing to start up against because I'm just I'm like dirt. I'm mamish mud. If we say this, it's like a chidush. Wow, it's this is your chidush. No, you say it in tefillah every day, every Shemona Esrei. V'nafshi ka'afar lechol tiyeh. I'm mamish dirt in front of everyone. I'm like offer. Rabbi Yaakov Meir Shechter says, I'm like offer. What do you mean I'm like offer? You ever notice earth want to get up, dust want to get up and be like, yo, what's up? You're walking on me. You ever noticed that? You're just walking on me. It doesn't do that. It's just hey, you want to walk on me? Just walk on me. It's all good. I'm just I'm nothing. It's all good. I'll support you. I'll hold your heels. That's that's the way we're supposed to be. Now she covered. I'm nothing. I'm mamish nothing. What is this hot shot for? I'm mamish nothing. I'm anything that happens to me, I'm yeah, this is and it's gavaldik. If I get in a traffic jam, all these things, my car was broken down one day in front of my school for I called the tow truck and it was supposed to come have an hour. It was I was sitting there 6 hours. I meant close to 8 actually towards the end. 8 hours. I was if you don't have the story, you're just what? You'd be raging what the heck is happening to me? Forget. What do you mean? This is such a gavaldik tikkun. It's gavaldik because I'm yeah. You walk yourself through life with this Torah. You start to see wow. It's everything's so gavaldik. It's so beautiful. It's so zis. Why? Because we're the holy beggars. We're mamish beggars. If you look at yourself, you're supposed to be a hotshot, then everything tastes rotten. Because it's not as good as the next level. So I could deserve the next level. The story with the sophisticate and the simpleton. And after I told this guy on the phone last night, I said to him this, he said, so that's what it means, what Rebbe Nachman is saying. You gotta just be pashut. Pshit, it's the pashut eat. Yeah, welcome to the club. We're the simple beggars. It's gavaldik. And that's now we understand where Rebbe Nachman praised Rebbe Nachman, and he's a beautiful, smooth piece of mud. Out of all the shvachas of a Talmud, you know what I mean? A piece of mud, psh, wow. And I said for this guy, I said for him, I want to introduce you to this, to the mud mahalach. We're the mud people. You know what I mean? Realize this. Because otherwise it could be bitter, it could be, mamish dangerous. Let's go on a little bit. Yeah, we're okay.
I didn't understand how you chaber the nothingness to the whole thing is to have nekudas tovas.
Oh.
The whole thing, and you're telling me to be a nothing. That's the whole problem. When a person feels when you're feeling like a nothing, that's your whole problem. You bring him from the nothing. I'm the best.
Whoa. So it's because that you're coming from nothingness, right? You're coming from nothing. You're mamish like you're mamish. You don't think that you're such a that you can now see and you can realize that it's such a chesed that you're getting everything in your life. It's just everything. You understand what I'm saying?
Kind of nothing.
It's a different perspective. It's not. This doesn't mean no, but this doesn't mean this Torah doesn't mean that you're a gavaldi guy. That's not what Azamra is telling you. Azamra is telling you how to get up from sleep, from darkness. That if you're holding at that level, that you're mamish, you hold that you're nothing, you're broken, this Torah will help you. If you hold that you're taka a kli shalem, then close this sefer, go on to the next Torah. It's not for you. And you should know another thing. That if you're taka broken and you're doing hisbodedus, this is the only thing that can work. And it's the only derech that you have to be holding on to, just positivity. Celebrate your positivity. If you're holding that you're broken, you think that you're a Rasha, you can't start saying Hashem, like you can't start pointing your bad. You can't start doing cheshbon nefesh right now because the Amalek is going to use that to take you down. What?
No, that's the wrong Yibodis. Yeah.
Right. It's mamish the Sitra Achra. He does it all the time. People that are broken inside, they're standing there doing this photos. I'm like, wow, mamish behemoth, like, and not only that, but like that's why everything's going bad in life because I'm so bad and it's bad causing bad. It's black on black and it's black. It's like black squared. It's like that's the road to depression, Jack. You're going the wrong way. You have to stop. Be like, okay, so fine. I'm like, I don't deserve anything. I'm not, and I'm mamish behemoth. But you know what? Wow, like this behemoth said a mincha. That was gavaldik. Thank you, Hashem, for that mincha. I exposed my soul to like Likutei Moharan. I exposed my soul to like Gemara for an hour. That's so zis in my life because I'm coming from such a dark place that this is like such a chesed. Everything starts tasting better in your life. So let's go on. So he says like this. So he says, that's the third line, right, in Beit. You bring yourself chiyus, you bring yourself simcha through this. You can awaken yourself to come and serve Hashem. This is what it means to wake up. This is the waking up aspect. Hashem, look at the tremendous sarai, the oppression that I have in my life. Hainu hatzarim shel hanefesh. Rebbe Nachman says this is referring to the constrictions of the soul. Shehem what? Hachatayim v'apegamim shel kol echad, the sins of every individual, the darkness of every individual. Shezeh ikar tzaras adam. This is the main tsar. This is the main pain that everyone experiences. Shehem miskabrim. This is when it's starting to work up. That's the only thing you're seeing. Miskabrim ala adam chas v'shalom. Azai hem rotzim mahapilot. He wants to drop you. It's a Malek standing in the left corner. He wants to take you down. The gamrei chas v'shalom. Ki keilu ein lo od shum tikva chas v'shalom. As if you have no hope. Like there's nothing to talk about. You're a goner. Vezeu, and this is what the pasuk says. Rabim omrim lenafshi ein yeshuata lo be'elokim sela. There is no salvation in the God. Right? You can't find salvation in your God, in the God of Israel, right? But Zayihu b'chinas sheina, then you're in an aspect of sleep. You're mamish sleeping. That's what darkness is. Vezeu ani shachavti ve'ishena, that I am sleeping, right? Ve'ishana, ki zeh b'chinat sheina, kanal. Aval be'emet, but the truth is, ha'adam asur le'yayish atzmo. It's asur a person to give up hope. You have to wake up from that sleep, from the little good that you find within yourself. I woke up because Hashem is supporting me. I know Hashem is supporting me. I know He's with me. He's not going to let me go. From this chachma, like he says, ki hanakuda tova she'adam motzi ba'atzmo, from finding this positive points in himself, zebechinat elokus. Why? How does that work like that? Why from finding these positive points, it's like you reach higher? Because these positive points, you know what these are? When you find that like feeling of warmth, that like I did that, even though I'm such a behemoth, like I was able to like, you know, like make someone happy or daven or like put tzedakah. Because you know what that warmth is coming from? That's God. That's what Rebbe Nachman is telling. He's like, that you're experiencing God right now. That happiness from a mitzvah. There's some people, mamish chasidim, right? It was a derech in chasidus, really simcha shal mitzvah, to like get into it, to like mamish, what, you know, like it was such a big thing by Hashem, Tamil Hashem, of simcha shal mitzvah, like mamish dance for like do a rikud that you just did a mitzvah, until you're so like engulfed, you're so entrenched with like excitement about mitzvahs, like the Kedushas Levi, like with the Esrig, you know, like staying up the whole night staring at it, crashing through glass, like, oh, it's time, you know, like until you come to a point, like celebrating that, mamish, like working on that. That because why? Because that's godliness. You know, I was in Uman, and there was an old man. This is like you know, like 8 years ago. It was like we're having a Suda in the Cheder Rachel, and there was like, you know, like there was like a bunch of Americans. There was this like old chassid like sitting there like next to me. And it was mamish, just hard for him to walk. He was like with a cane. But like it was like second day Rosh Hashanah, and they started to dance. Like started saying Chein Sadi Kim Yiravis Mechu, and he was like, I was thinking honestly, Yom Adin, you know, he said to me he started getting up, like struggling to get up with his cane, like. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm going to dance. He's like, it's mamish a mitzvah to dance. It's a mitzvah to dance today.
Rosh Hashanah?
Yeah. I was like, I hear, like, I mean, I didn't even have to, like, you know, I was like, all that idea of like Yom Adin, this, like, he was like, when he said that, I was like, it felt right. I was like, I hear. I'm like, if he's gonna do that, if he's being Moser Nefesh to go, you know, dance in a circle, like, I'm gonna do it too. There's a story with Close of Lublin. If anyone wants to stay after, by all means, you know, if anyone has to leave, it's fine. But Choz of Lublin, what happened was that somebody came. It was Taka the Yom Adin. It was Rosh Hashanah, and there was people dancing by the Chozer, you know. And the Chozer of Lublin was standing on the side, and he was like, you know, mamish, like clapping, and he was like, you know, like seeing his Chassidim, like getting nachas from the Nekudas Tovas. He was building his mishkanas of positive points in order to present it to Hashem on that day of Techilas Maasecha. So then what happened was that some like Litzvak Sheba Litzvak, Misnagid Sheba Misnagid, he was hit by the Misnagid bat really hard. He came in and he was just like, what are they all doing? They're all celebrating. He was like full of bitterness, and he mamish, like he was like done everyone like the Kafchova, and he was like a walking Beis Din, you know. And he comes up to the Chozer, and he's like, what is this? They're all dancing on a Yom Adin. And Chozer says, he just looks at me such like, you know, my beautiful little, you know, sheep. He just takes his hand, he goes like this on his eyes, and he takes his hand and he puts it over his eyes. He like puts it like, you know, like it's like a lens, like glasses. And then the guy, mamish saw, you know, they call him a chozer because he had that power of vision. So the guy, mamish, he was standing in the position that he was overlooking the Hasidim. So he started seeing like everyone was like full of light, and like in Shemayim they were all written. He mamish saw in the heavens, the heavens opened on each and every single one. They were all written. L'chaim told them all the shalom, in all the good books. And then all of a sudden, he like in his power of vision, he turned around, and all of a sudden he saw he saw on himself. He looked up, and it was written mamish like it was all written in not the good books, in the dark books. It was all dark by him. So then the Chozer took off his hand. The guy started looking at her. He mamish started crying like a baby. He's like, you know, he's crying like, it's like, what am I gonna do? And the Chozer looks at him. Dance, man. You start dancing. That's you know? And the guy's like, alright. And he goes, he's like, stay inside, he became a chazir of the chazir. You know what I mean? But, like, you hear what I'm saying? That's the derech of the Rebbe. We wanted that. The Rebbe said, walk with one of my Torahs always in your pocket. Have this Torah always in your pocket. You go to Uman, you're on the way to Uman, you're in the airport. How many times do you want to dance in a circle already? I want to dance another time. You know what I mean? Because I take Simcha very seriously. Positive point, celebrate it. Celebrate your Yiddishkeit. Give it over to your family. Simcha Shal Mitzvah. Can't be like that. Can't be like you're approaching Gemara with bitterness. No, you learned your Gemara today? No? What's going on? You want a treat? You got to say over your Gemara. It's like, why are you doing this to me? A lot of kids with their fathers, it's like, celebrate the good. Because if the kid sees that you're happy about your Yiddishkeit, you're excited about your Gemara, you're singing your Nigun. You're like, wow. They want to sing too, and they want to learn that Gemara too, because they always want what you have, right? Little kids, especially my 2-year-old. Whatever you have, they want. So if you want God, then you know what? I'll tell you, they want God. They'll want God too. If you're reaching out for Hashem, they're going to be like Hashem too. So that's the only way. It should be. We should be so bottled up with this Torah that it's going to be contagious. That somebody that hangs around you will be like, this is a breath of fresh air. This is a breast liver. We should be Zocha, Mitzvah, we should be Emistika, the breast of the Chassidim. Amen.
Amen.
I want this recording, man.
Yeah? I hope it came out. It was a little far away, but okay, I hope it came out.
I wanted to move
Whoever you are.
I thought you were. You feel like comfortable. You want to forget about it. So